One of the biggest reasons you suck at fat loss is because you don't know how to track your food. Or you don't know how to track your food because no one has ever taught you how to do it properly. Well, in this video, luckily for you, I'm going to share the biggest mistakes that you're making with MyFitnessPal, the most widely used food tracking app in the world, and how these mistakes are costing you the best results. What's up, Darren Lou Fitness here, and before I get into the tracking, I was all about intuitive eating and eating like my ancestors, like a lot of us on the internet are doing right now, and holding on to all these false beliefs that calories did not matter as long as I was eating clean. Boy, was I wrong. Now, how did I know I was wrong? Well, I was working my damn ass off for 3 years, doing strict keto, strict intermittent fasting, and Muay Thai twice a day, trying to achieve my best physique, only to end up with the most mid-physique ever with dwindling muscle mass and a terrible relationship with foods, until I decided that enough is enough and I hired my first nutrition and body composition coach. He taught me all about calories and macros, and he pushed me to start tracking my food for the first time. 5 years later, I feel like I'm in total control of my energy levels, my performance in the gym and work, and how my body actually looks. So tracking is not a diet. It's not even a fad, right? It's a tool to help you understand and become aware of the cost of food to your body. The more data you have, the more you can manipulate your results. And you're gonna notice that the people that get the best results manage as many metrics as possible so that the results become predictable, right? Do you need to track as long as I do? Not at all. But I do think everyone should learn how to track once in their lives to understand, why things are happening in your body from the foods you're eating. What foods do well with you, which don't, how your digestion reacts with certain foods, how your skin reacts to certain foods, and most importantly, which foods are optimal and suboptimal for your body goals. And when someone offers to create a meal plan for you, and this is one of the reasons why I don't give out meal plans, by the way, they will give you what to eat, XYZ, at this time, and then 2 hours later you will eat this, etc., etc. And then what's missing is the purpose behind the food, or the underlying why behind those foods you're eating, right? Tracking your calories and macronutrients is just a great way to see, okay, this is why I'm gaining weight. Today I'm low on protein, but I'm high in calories. Well, how did I do that? Because, I can see that I ate 200 grams of pork belly, which drove up my calories like crazy because of how fatty it is. And that's why I hit my calorie target well before I hit my protein target. You see, awareness, information, and then improvement and implementation and doing better tomorrow. And then you start seeing more consistent results. Now imagine having this tool in your tool belt 24/7. Pretty cool. So now that you're convinced to start tracking your food, here are 6 crucial mistakes on MyFitnessPal that I want you to avoid if you want to get fat loss right. Mistake number 1 is not differentiating between raw and cooked weight of food. Very important. When you can, you want to be tracking things when they're raw, basically in the state that you buy them. The makeup of food can change dramatically when you cook them. More often than not, a food will lose weight after being cooked. And because there's so much variance of how much weight is lost, it's best to weigh it raw. So for example, raw chicken would have a different calorie and macro makeup than cooked chicken because the loss of water during the cooking process is quite significant. Mistake number 2, probably the biggest one, is eating back your exercise calories. Now, this is the most common mistake people make, and it's a big no-no. Your calorie target should already be taking into account the exercise and daily movement you're doing. So don't eat back the calories that MyFitness tells you you can eat. You can actually turn off that function, and I highly recommend it. In fact, your fitness device that you guys are using to track calories burned during exercise can have up to a 50% inaccuracy rate or more, which is really damn significant. So the other day I did a 90-minute lifting session, and MyFitnessPal generously gave me 300 more calories to eat, when in reality, I probably burned about 150 calories, unfortunately. Now, you don't burn as many calories as you think you do during exercise, okay? And although on high activity days, you can actually afford to eat more. So listen to your true hunger cues and not an app that has no idea about your metabolism or your lifestyle. Mistake number 3, and this is a big newbie move, but choosing the first food entry item that comes up. So if you search up a food on MyFitnessPal, please cross-check that food against what you expect it to be or what's on the package. One of the downsides, if you want to call it that, on MyFitnessPal is that anybody in the world can create a food item, and not everyone in the world is very bright. So a lot of these entries will be wrong or inaccurate. I see items all the time where something is 400 calories with 0 amounts in the macros, right? Then you're sitting there like, how did I hit my calorie targets, but my protein and my fats are way off, right? And this is the reason. Or you'll see a food that's like 100 calories, but with 50 grams of carbs, which makes no sense because 1 gram of carbohydrate equals 4 calories. So the math obviously doesn't check out. And another thing you can do is check 3 entries that are somewhat similar and choose the one in the middle, okay? Now, mistake number 4 is logging full meal entries you find in the database versus logging individual ingredients. For example, let's say you want to track a bacon and egg sandwich. Don't just input in bacon and egg sandwich and pick whichever looks best to you. actually input individual elements to ensure it'll be way more accurate. Like this: 1 egg, 2 strips of bacon, 1 English muffin, 1 slice of cheddar cheese, half a tablespoon of oil. If you just enter a full meal, you have no clue how much of each ingredient that user used for that bacon and egg sandwich. It could have been 4 strips of bacon, or they could have added a slab of mayo that they forgot to include. You just never know. Mistake number 5 is waiting till the end of the day to track all your food. Lord knows. So you really think that your memory is that solid where you can go and remember every single thing you ate and drank today? Nah, research shows that the recall on calories consumed or food consumed is really, really poor. You might not remember that you had 2 cookies or that you finished the food off your son's plate, but your calorie intake in terms of your body certainly does remember. Now, the clients in our program that get the best results track as soon as they know what they're eating, and some even input their food the night before because they're usually eating similar foods anyways. I'm telling you guys, planning ahead will eliminate chances of just grabbing anything convenient at the time as well, and we know most of those convenient foods just aren't aligned with your goals. Last but not least, mistake number 6 is always choosing the lowest calorie option, because you're only kidding yourself, right? If that's what you're doing. Now, we all like to convince ourselves that an entire pizza is 400 to 500 calories, but in reality, deep down, you know that it's a lot more. Or maybe you don't. But after scoping through a few pizza items, you'll soon see the truth, right? Now, I know it's hard to take responsibility for what you're eating sometimes, because during those times when you're completely going overboard, it's hard to stop yourself, but you gotta take some ownership and be realistic with the foods you're logging, because that's the only way you'll start seeing progress, is to literally get your head out of the sand. So if you're just starting out with tracking food, please be patient with it. Nutrition is a skill, tracking food is a skill, and like all skills, you just need more reps to become savvier with it. And eventually, what would have taken you 15 minutes before to track will only take you 2 minutes, because you've now built that skill. Because, you know, I know for damn sure that none of you jumped on your first bicycle that rode down the hill without falling, right? It's just all about reps, guys. So I hope this video helped you out, or at least made you more aware of the importance of tracking your food for a period of time if you want to be more efficient with getting into great shape. If you're watching this and you need help with tracking and you want personal support to guarantee you lose 20 pounds and learn how to keep it off, there's a link in the description to apply for a coaching program specifically built for busy professionals. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.